Well, since I put these awesome shelves up, I got these from a guy who owns a tattoo shop slash vintage video store. Um, I was able to display my VHS collection, so I thought I'd highlight a few titles. I'm going to do my best to keep the light out, but as you can see, there's only so much I can do about that until I get some sort of barrier between these two. So I will do this mostly from an angle, but as you can see, I specialize in mostly some of the worst movies ever made because that's my jam. So I've got some of the better '80s classics here. I do enjoy Chuck Norris, Stallone, Arnold, and my man Charles Bronson. If you've never seen this, so this right here, this is Mr. Majestic. I believe this is from 1976. This has him getting away in a bump side Chevy or Ford pickup that is one of the most ridiculous thing chases you'll ever see. Um, I've got some of the '80s classics. If you've never seen Amazing Grace and Chuck, this is a really good one. Of course, this is Last Starfighter is a classic. Big Trouble in Little China. I do like, and when I say I like really like cheesy '80s stuff, that I mean there were so many movies that were based out of Vietnam or that took place after the Vietnam War, stuff like that. Um, the main thing I do try to collect is horror. It's very hard to find. We'll go over a few here. This is The Clown Murders from 1976. This was the only horror movie John Candy ever did. So if you're a Rob Zombie fan, this is Devil's Rejects and Thousand Corpses. If you're a Full Moon fan, God, it's light. If you're a Full Moon fan, Dollman versus Demonic Toys is pretty good. They also did Dollman and Demonic Toys separately. But this, I'll just move the Impala. Don't roll away. This is the longest tape I've had. I bought this when I was 16 back in 2004. This is a made-for-TV movie from USA, Wheels of Terror. It is about a mysterious black sedan, Dodge Charger, that terrorizes the residents of Copper Valley, Arizona. This is Joanna Cassidy from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. This was from USA's Horror Up All Night TV movies. They did a very limited VHS run. It's never seen a DVD release, most likely never will. We all remember Bordello of Blood. That's a Tales from the Crypt classic. Dennis Miller doing horror, which he should never do. Same with Dennis Quaid. This is more of a thriller, though. Up here, if you're a true fan of garbage cinema like I am, you have at least one Troma film. This is Rabid Grannies from 1988. If you're not familiar with Troma, they're an independent studio that has produced over, maybe 800, 900 films. Lloyd Kaufman and Michael Hertz founded it back in the 70s. They've done movies like this, Surf Nazis Must Die, Redneck Zombies, Return to Nukem High, and of course Toxic Avenger. Some other cool stuff. This copy of Prom Night 3 is actually a screener. As you can see, it says promotional copy not for sale. This was a screener used for like video store rentals. Or video stores, not rentals. Let's see, this Southern Comfort here. This was kind of like Deliverance, but even further in the South. It was about some National Guardsmen who piss off some swamp rednecks in southern rural Louisiana. And yeah, it was actually pretty good. Of course, some classics. Can't go anywhere without my Back to the Future trilogy. These actually took me a while to find all three. If you've never seen Idle Hands, this has Devon Sawa, Jessica Alba, Seth Green. This guy, Devon Sawa, this movie was made in like 98. His hand gets possessed by the devil, starts killing people. They're all stoners. They're idiots. It's really funny. The Offspring is in it. Normally I remove the stickers, except this, if you can see where it says Independent. This is from Independent Records. It's a record store that we no longer have here. I wish we did. They're gone. So, some other stuff. I will say I am a fan of tape patina or sleeve patina, if that's a thing. So I'll give you an example. This copy of Iron Eagle, which is just a gorgeous 80s classic with the chrome block letters that are also chrome and red, white, and blue at the same time. Just the condition of this tape, the cool old Starlight Video sticker. I mean, just looks so good. I'm a fan of all the over-the-top 80s stuff. I love this. Hard Justice. Can't really see. I love the title. And there's not only 2 guns on the cover, then it's not enough to have one guy on the back holding 2 guns. There are 2 guys on the back of this holding guns, and then this guy jumping through the air sideways with a gun yelling, "Ah!" What more do you want? Passenger 57 has that great line where Wesley Snipes says, "Always bet on black." I'm a big fan of Mr. Bean. I was happy to find a few of his VHS tapes. And actually, I should put these with this, but this is Rowan Atkinson live. Rowan Atkinson is a really funny guy. He's also a racing driver, and he's really into cars. He owns a McLaren F1 and has crashed it twice, which it's actually pretty cool. As far as interesting stuff down here, Kindergarten Cop, my friend Brad pointed that out. Great movie. Driving Miss Daisy is a movie that is something my mom watched when I was little. I didn't really get it. Then I saw it when I was older and realized, terrific movie. I do have, I'm trying to find Highlander 3. I've got Highlander 1, 2, and 4. The reason I wanted 4 is because of this little blurb on the front that says, "More steamy scenes." Because we all know that's what makes the movie, right? So if we come over here, I've got a few. So I'm a big Herbie fan. This is Love Bug, 1968. Herbie Rides Again, 1974. Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo, 1977. And Herbie Goes Bananas, 1980. These are the 4 original films. Then they did a 5-episode TV series in 1982, once again starring Dean Jones. It was not successful. It was also not good. And they did a 1997 remake called The Love Bug, which had Bruce Campbell playing essentially the role of Jim Douglas. And then, of course, the Lindsay Lohan remake or sequel in 2004. Hopefully, one day, maybe they'll make another one. I do have some box tapes up here, ones that are extra wide because there are 2 tapes or more. So Scarface, Titanic, Patton, Schindler's List. These are like good movies. I've never seen any of these. I only watch garbage. I have these because maybe I'll watch them someday. Star Wars original trilogy. Kenny actually sent me this one and this one. Thanks, Kenny. Let's see. So up here I have clamshells. These were former rentals, which I like collecting because look at the rental stickers, right? How cool is that? This is cool right here. Airwolf was basically another vehicle-related show in the 80s like Knight Rider and Dukes of Hazzard, except it was a freaking helicopter. This is the series pilot, the 2-hour pilot. This is Rambo 2 from 1985. I have this because it's actually a Betamax. And I couldn't pass that up. I don't have a Betamax player. I don't plan on getting one. I will eventually find someone who wants that, and I will just give it to them. Caddyshack, another rental. MASH, classic. Blues Brothers. This is actually kind of cool. Look at this. This is like from a library or something. What they would do is they would make these clamshells. They would take the sleeve and they would cut it out and they would put it in here like this. $40 for this back in the day. VHS wasn't cheap, y'all. It really wasn't. I think paying $5 for a tape now is a lot. It's not. I mean, it is. I don't pay $5 for a tape, but these are some comedies. A few Jim Carrey classics. One of his actual greatest roles ever. If you've never seen King Ralph, it's really funny if you like John Goodman. You know, Michael J. Fox did other movies besides Back to the Future. Doc Hollywood is really good. The Hard Way is really good despite having James Woods. He did a movie with Christopher Lloyd, though they don't share screen time. It had Gary Oldman and Kurt Russell. Interstate 99? Interstate 60. Yeah. Oscar's pretty funny. Stallone plays a mob guy in the 1940s. It's actually a comedy. This movie has the stupidest plot I've ever heard, but David Duchovny and Minnie Driver together were pretty good. I do enjoy collecting the original runs of tapes and not re-releases. So this is like an original Beverly Hills Cop from 1984. It's not the 1997 Paramount re-release. This is an original copy, and I like having those. Of course, classics. The funniest movie of all time. This is Strange Brew. The reason I want to talk about this is because back in the 1970s, Canada had its own sketch comedy type show called SCTV. Someone might correct me if I'm wrong, but It had a lot of stars in it. So this movie is about the Bob and Doug McKenzie. It's about two idiots who drink beer, but that's Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas from SCTV. SCTV also featured Joe Flaherty, Eugene Levy, John Candy, Catherine O'Hara. They're all from that, which is why they do so many movies together in the 80s. Of course, the original run of Kevin Smith films before he started doing sequels. I think Clerks 2 might have been released on VHS. It was '06. That was the last year of VHS. I don't know. If I ever find it, I would like to get it. This is an original copy of Real Genius. We Miss You, Val Kilmer. This I was excited to find, this really cool Die Hard set and The Making of Die Hard with a Vengeance. Mad Max Road Warrior. I'm looking forward to finding Beyond Thunderdome. I have not yet, but I have these two. And of course, the two most common VHS tapes you'll ever find. Two submarine movies released around similar times, both with a great cast, both had very similar covers. These are some classics. Long Kiss Goodnight, if you watch Samuel L. Jackson do interviews, he talks about the character he played in this movie. He said it was one of his favorite, if not the most favorite. This is Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. That is just classic cinema. Let's see. Let's get down here. I'm getting old. All right. So, the Jurassic Park series, of which there are only two. Anything after that was a mistake. That's not true. I like Jurassic Park 3. Alan! It took me a while to find a nice sleeve of the first one. And I only did because I found a nice sleeve I found this one first and it was in nice condition. So I thought I might as well hold out for a nice sleeve of the first one. And I did. This was mint. I found this at the thrift store, 50 cents. I mean, it is one of the most common movies you'll find. But finding one that nice, I was pretty happy about. Indy Jones. This is sealed, never opened. I'm going to open it because I don't care. I have The Mummy, and The Mummy Returns. This lighting is terrible. Why do I have The Mummy twice? Because this is in Spanish. I shouldn't do Spanish accents, I'm white. This I was excited to find. This is some Cheech and Chong movies, all in the original sleeves from the original releases. These are not reprints. That was pretty cool. These are some more older movies. Blazing Saddles, American Graffiti. Close Encounters will show you because this, if you've never seen one of these, you don't open it from the bottom. You open it from the side. If you've never seen The China Syndrome, God, that movie's good. The Incredible Journey, the original from the 60s. My friend Chris got me that. This we'll talk about. This is Prey of the Chameleons from like the early 90s. This is about a woman who like meets another woman. She'll like take her home, have sex with her, and then kill her and assume her identity. So she is the chameleon. This movie has Alexandra Paul. You might remember her from Christine in 1983. She played Lee, Arnie's girlfriend. Yeah, there we go. Fargo took me a while to find for some reason, even though it's really good. Young Guns 1 and 2, classic. What's down here that I want to... These are just a lot of real basic stuff. Apparently I have Young Guns twice because I keep a spreadsheet and then I don't watch it. So I still end up buying stuff twice. Basically down here, I've got some collections. The lighting's terrible, I know. I've got some Bond movies, some Star Treks, and the Dollars trilogy from Clint Eastwood. Speaking of old ones, this Wrath of Khan VHS is the original. This is not a re-release, the original 1982 tape. That's pretty cool. I don't know if y'all remember, there was this YouTube channel called Nature Walk, and this guy would just walk around the woods and he'd be like, see this flower? That's pretty neat. That's what I feel like. See this movie? That's pretty cool. So don't make fun of me. Don't make fun of me! As far as going down, further down in the action, a couple of cool 80s plane movies, in addition to Top Gun, of course, but Flight of the Intruder, good. Firebirds, it's like they took Top Gun and said, what if we did it with Apaches and had Nick Cage? How can you go wrong? A couple Jackie Chan movies, Roadhouse, of course, this. God, I could talk about this movie all day. This is one of the most slept-on films of all friggin' time. Breakdown, Kurt Russell, 1997. This had a great cast. Had J.T. Walsh, Kathleen Quinlan. Talking too fast. Him and his wife are on vacation, moving across country. She gets kidnapped. He finds her. But there's so many tropes that don't exist in this movie. It's It's just so good. It's a great thriller. He is very much an everyman. He doesn't become a badass. Like, oh, it's just so good. What a slept-on movie. You should watch Breakdown from '97. Just do it. As far as classics go, Dead Men in Tights, Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. Great. Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. That is one of the films of all time. Slapshot, one of the greatest hockey movies ever made. Stripes is, of course, a classic. Necessary Roughness. I believe this is from 91, I think. This is just a sports movie, but look at this cast. Kathy Ireland, Scott Bakula, from Quantum Leap. Pretty sure that's who he's from. Robert Loggia, from... oh, man, what was that movie with... the great soundtrack? Yeah, that one. Never mind. Anyway, Sinbad is in this for reasons. Hector Elizondo, though. If you don't remember, Hector Elizondo was in Pretty Woman. He played the hotel manager who taught Julia Roberts' character about which fork to use at dinner. Necessary Roughness is a good movie if you just like a good cast. Also, maybe you're like me. I'm not into sports. I love sports movies. I don't know why. I've got Coal Miner's Daughter because I really love biopics, and I know they're pronounced biopics, and I don't care. Let's see. As far as others, let's see what else. This is Killers from Space. I believe this was from 1955. This has Peter Graves, who played Captain Over in Airplane. And in Airplane, he was parodying his character from the movie Airplane is parodying, 0 Hour from 1957. Peter Graves is really funny. He was also... what was the Get Smart? The original Get Smart from the 60s. He played the guy. Tower Inferno. When I was a kid, my mom talked at length about this movie, and then I watched it, and it was about a building that's on fire. Straight Talk. Now this, Dolly Parton, James Woods, unfortunately, but Dolly Parton becomes a talk show host in Chicago, and it's really funny. Speed Zone. I want to talk about Speed Zone because this is the third movie in the Cannonball Run series, the Cannonball Run movies from 1981 and 84, Burt Reynolds. This is Cannonball Run 3. They changed the name, but this is an SCTV alum. This has John Candy, Eugene Levy, Joe Flaherty, all together in a comedy about racing across the country. It's pretty funny, I think. A lot of these are just your standard pickups. Oh, Romancing the Stone. Let's talk about this real quick. Romancing the Stone was directed by Bob Zemeckis, who made, of course, Back to the Future. In the early 80s, he wrote Back to the Future way back in the day. Couldn't get it made because he had only made flops up to that point. And then, unfortunately, no studio wanted to give him money to make Romancing the Stone. Spielberg was involved and kind of backed him up, but there was only so much he could do if Zemeckis couldn't produce a hit. Then in 1984, he did this, Romancing the Stone, Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, Danny DeVito. It was a big hit. The studio's like, okay, fine, you can make Back to the Future. And one of the most famous pieces of trivia about Back to the Future is that the producer, whatever his name was, he was an old man, said the title was terrible and they should call it Spaceman from Pluto. That did not go over well, thank goodness. Let's see. There was one other thing down here. Oh, yeah. Thunder Road. Thunder Road from 1958 stars Robert Mitchum as a moonshine runner, and it's got a lot of car chases, explosions, really good stunts and driving. Robert Mitchum starred in it, produced it, cast his own son in it. He considers this his greatest achievement, and this paved the way for a lot of car chases well before Bullitt did. And let me just clear the era. Bullitt's not a car movie. Bullitt 1968, Steve McQueen, not a car movie. It's a boring-ass detective movie with one good chase. One good chase a car movie does not make. Get in my face about it, I don't care. If you've ever seen Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry, 1974 with Peter Fonda and Susan George, there's a scene where he's being chased by the cops and he says, hey, remember Robert Mitchum in Thunder Road? I'm going to powder his face. And he turns onto a dirt road. That's the movie he's talking about. Here's some others. So these are also sealed. I don't know what to do with them. I'm not going to try to sell them for profit because I'm not in this. This is just for me. So I don't know. Maybe I'll open them. Maybe I'll just give them to someone that collects sealed copies. I was just happy to find them. I thought it was neat, and maybe I'll just give them away. I don't know. Trade them. You never know. But yeah, this is sometimes I like finding unique cases, unique sleeves. This is a pretty hard to find sleeve of What's Up Tiger Lily by Woody Allen. I've never found this sleeve anywhere else. Found that at the thrift store. So you never know. But there it is. That's just kind of a quick rundown of some highlights of the collection. And in case you're wondering, well, you love Maximum Overdrive. Why don't you have all your Maximum Overdrive copies? That's because that entire shrine is over here. That is a VHS, Blu-ray, a sign in another language. I love foreign language posters. And this, my friend Eileen got me this. Super nice model of the Happy Toys truck. Really nice. I was super excited. Whoops. When she gave me this. Absolutely love it. So yes, for those of you wondering, there it is. So anyway, that's the collection. If you saw that license plate, I don't live in Virginia. Let me know if you have any questions. Anyway, I just really wanted to show off my shelves and stuff. So thanks for watching.